The 5 a.m. Club by Robin Sharma is a self-help book that advocates the importance of waking up early and establishing a routine that allows for personal growth, productivity, and fulfillment. The concept of waking up at 5 a.m. as a daily practice is intended to help individuals maximize their performance, creativity, and well-being. Sharma intertwines practical lessons with a fictional story about two struggling characters and their mentor, known as the Spellbinder, who transforms their lives through the principles of the 5 a.m. routine. 1. Introduction to the 5 a.m. concept. Sharma introduces the notion that waking up at 5 a.m. allows people to create time for themselves before the day's responsibilities begin. This victory hour from 5 a.m. to 6 a.m. is dedicated to personal development through a structured routine. He suggests that the most successful people in history, such as artists, CEOs, and athletes, have utilized this early hour to cultivate mastery in their respective fields. The purpose is to enhance focus, creativity, and overall performance. 2. The storyline. The core of the 5 a.m. Club is conveyed through a fictional narrative involving four main characters. The Spellbinder, a motivational speaker and mentor who imparts wisdom about the importance of early rising and leading a life of greatness. The Entrepreneur, a woman who is struggling with burnout and the pressures of running her company. The Artist, a man who is dealing with personal and professional challenges and is seeking to unlock his creativity. The Billionaire, a quirky and wealthy mentor who has mastered the principles of the 5 a.m. Club and helps guide the entrepreneur and the artist through their transformation. Through their journey, they learn the foundational principles of waking up early, leading a disciplined life, and creating lasting success. The story serves as a backdrop to illustrate the practical steps and mindset shifts required to achieve personal and professional fulfillment. 3. The Four Interior Empires. Sharma emphasizes the importance of not only focusing on outward success but also cultivating inner mastery. He divides this into four interconnected components, which he calls the Four Interior Empires. Mindset. The thoughts and beliefs you hold shape your reality. By developing a strong, positive mindset, you create the mental foundation for success. This involves continuous learning, resilience, and controlling self-talk. Heartset. While mindset is about logic and cognition, heartset relates to emotional well-being. It emphasizes the importance of emotional intelligence, healing past wounds, and nurturing relationships. A well-developed heartset allows you to express empathy, gratitude, and kindness. Healthset. Physical well-being is crucial for achieving success. Sharma argues that health is wealth and that a focus on exercise, diet, and sleep is non-negotiable. By taking care of the body, individuals can maintain the energy and stamina needed for peak performance. Soulset. The spiritual component of personal growth, Soulset focuses on developing a sense of purpose, authenticity, and connection to a higher power or the universe. This involves practices like meditation, journaling, and spending time in nature to nourish the soul. Together, these four interior empires form the foundation for living a balanced and fulfilling life. 4. The 20-20-20 Formula. One of the central concepts in the 5 a.m. Club is the 20-20-20 Formula, which divides the first hour of the day, 5 a.m. to 6 a.m., into three distinct 20-minute blocks. Move 5 o'clock to 5:20. The first 20 minutes should be dedicated to intense physical activity. Exercise increases the release of neurotransmitters like dopamine and serotonin, which boost mood and energy levels. This could include activities like running, cycling, or a vigorous workout session. Reflect 5:20 to 5:40. The next 20 minutes are for reflection, including practices like meditation, journaling, or deep breathing exercises. This quiet time allows individuals to connect with themselves, clarify their intentions for the day, and cultivate gratitude. Grow, 5:40 to 6 o'clock. The final 20 minutes should be spent on learning and personal development. This can involve reading books, listening to podcasts, or engaging in activities that challenge the mind and foster growth. Continuous learning keeps the brain sharp and prepares individuals to tackle their goals with creativity and wisdom. Sharma insists that the 20-20-20 formula is non-negotiable for members of the 5 a.m. club, as it primes them for success in their personal and professional lives. 5. The importance of habits and routines. Sharma draws heavily on the science of habit formation and how small, consistent actions compound over time to create massive results. He emphasizes that successful people are those who manage their days with deliberate, disciplined routines. The first hour of the morning is crucial because it sets the tone for the rest of the day. In the 5 a.m. club, Sharma provides a framework for habit installation based on neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to change and adapt over time. He explains the 66-day rule, which asserts that it takes 66 days for a new habit to become automatic. These 66 days are broken into 3 stages. 1. Destruction, day 1 to 22. The first phase is the hardest because you are breaking old habits and behaviors. 2. Installation, day 23 to 44. This middle phase feels awkward as the brain begins to create new pathways and connections. 3. Integration, day 45 to 66. In the final phase, the new habit becomes part of your identity and feels natural. The lesson here is that persistence is key, and individuals should not give up when facing the discomfort of creating new habits. 6. The twin cycles of elite performance. Sharma introduces the idea of balancing high-intensity work with deep rest through what he calls the twin cycles of elite performance. The high excellence cycle. This is the phase of deep work where an individual focuses intently on a task, expending maximum energy and effort. Elite performance requires periods of intense, uninterrupted concentration. The deep recovery cycle. After high excellence periods, it's essential to enter a deep recovery cycle, where the brain and body can rejuvenate. Rest, relaxation, and sleep are key to maintaining peak performance in the long run. Sharma advocates for scheduling time for rest, hobbies, and relaxation, noting that overworking without adequate recovery can lead to burnout and diminished returns. Elite performers excel because they are as committed to recovery as they are to productivity. 7. Mastery and leadership. The concept of mastery is central to the 5 a.m. club. According to Sharma, true success comes from a lifetime of dedication to self-improvement and contribution. He differentiates between mediocrity and mastery, noting that the path to greatness requires consistent, disciplined effort. This process includes continuous learning, innovation, and practice, even in the face of failure and setbacks. Moreover, Sharma links personal mastery to leadership. He suggests that those who lead themselves well, by adopting the 5 a.m. routine, cultivating the 4 interior empires, and applying the 20-20-20 formula, will naturally inspire others. Leadership, in Sharma's view, is about serving others, and the most impactful leaders are those who lead by example through their discipline, empathy, and personal excellence. 8. The importance of purpose. Sharma underscores the idea that true success is not measured by wealth, fame, or external achievements, but by a deep sense of purpose and contribution. Purpose fuels passion and helps individuals navigate challenges. When people wake up early and dedicate time to personal development, they align themselves with their higher purpose, which brings meaning and fulfillment to their lives. By living a purpose-driven life, individuals can make a positive impact on the world around them. Sharma encourages readers to transcend self-interest and focus on how they can serve others, leave a legacy, and contribute to the betterment of society. 9. Conclusion. Crafting your world-class morning routine. Sharma wraps up the 5 a.m. club with a clear message. Adopting a morning routine that includes waking up at 5 a.m., practicing the 20-20-20 formula, and cultivating the 4 interior empires is the key to transforming your life. By reclaiming the first hour of the day, individuals can gain clarity, boost productivity, and experience personal fulfillment. The principles outlined in the book are not just for the elite or the successful but are accessible to anyone willing to make the commitment. Sharma's final takeaway is that mastering your mornings is the gateway to mastering your life. Final thoughts. The 5 a.m. club is not just about waking up early, it's about creating a disciplined life where personal growth, health, and purpose take center stage. By following the teachings of the Spellbinder and the Billionaire, readers are encouraged to take control of their time, develop their interior world, and strive for mastery in all aspects of life. Whether one is an entrepreneur, artist, or any individual seeking improvement, the principles in the book offer a blueprint for achieving extraordinary results. Brigid Delaney's Reasons Not to Worry draws heavily from the principles of Stoic philosophy to offer a timely and pragmatic guide on how to manage worry and anxiety in a world filled with uncertainty. Using the teachings of classical Stoic thinkers like Seneca, Epictetus, and Marcus Aurelius, Delaney provides a roadmap for navigating life's inevitable challenges and stresses with grace, resilience, and a sense of inner calm. Introduction. The Stoic Promise. In the introduction, Delaney outlines the essence of Stoic philosophy and its relevance to modern life. Stoicism, a school of philosophy founded in Athens, emphasizes self-control, rationality, and emotional resilience in the face of external circumstances. Delaney suggests that the Stoics' core belief, that we cannot control external events but only our reactions to them, is particularly helpful in a world marked by unpredictability, from personal setbacks to global crises. Delaney promises readers that by embracing Stoic teachings, they can learn to stop worrying about things beyond their control and instead cultivate a mindset that allows them to thrive, no matter the circumstances. Chapter 1. Distinguishing between what we can and cannot control. One of the foundational teachings of Stoicism is to recognize the difference between what is within our control and what is not. Delaney dedicates the first chapter to this principle, which is derived from Epictetus's Enchiridion. According to Epictetus, we can control our thoughts, opinions, and actions, but not external events, other people's behavior, or even our own bodies to a certain extent, for example, aging, illness. Delaney urges readers to make peace with this truth. She explains that much of our anxiety comes from trying to control or influence things that are inherently uncontrollable. For instance, we might worry about world events, other people's opinions, or the future. By focusing on what we can control, our own responses and choices, we can free ourselves from unnecessary stress. Key takeaway. Learning to differentiate between what you can and cannot control is the first step toward reducing worry. Chapter 2. Practicing Negative Visualization. In this chapter, Delaney introduces the Stoic technique of negative visualization or premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This practice involves imagining worst-case scenarios in order to build mental resilience. By contemplating potential losses or difficulties ahead of time, we prepare ourselves emotionally, reducing the impact when bad things actually happen. Delaney stresses that negative visualization is not about dwelling on worst-case outcomes but about inoculating ourselves against them. When we regularly think about things that could go wrong, losing a job, a breakup, a health issue, we are better equipped to handle these challenges when they arise. Additionally, this practice can increase our appreciation for the things we have, fostering gratitude. Key takeaway: imagining worst-case scenarios can make you more resilient and appreciative of your present circumstances. Chapter 3: The Power of Perspective. Perspective is central to Stoic philosophy. As Marcus Aurelius often wrote in his Meditations, our perception of events, rather than the events themselves, shapes our experience of life. Delaney delves into this idea, showing how a shift in perspective can drastically reduce worry. For example, instead of seeing obstacles as setbacks, Stoics encourage viewing them as opportunities for growth. If you fail at something, rather than thinking of it as a disaster, you can see it as a chance to learn and improve. Delaney also discusses the value of zooming out and adopting a broader, more objective view of problems, which helps diminish their emotional weight. Key takeaway: your perspective on events is more important than the events themselves. Adopting a Stoic viewpoint allows you to find opportunity in adversity. Chapter 4: Cultivating Inner Virtue. A central tenet of Stoicism is the cultivation of virtue, which the Stoics believed was the only true good. Virtue consists of wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, and these qualities are entirely within our control. Delaney argues that by focusing on cultivating inner virtues, we can find peace and fulfillment even when external circumstances are unfavorable. For example, instead of worrying about how much money you have, focus on being generous and fair with what you do have. Instead of worrying about failure, focus on acting with courage. Delaney makes it clear that living virtuously is the path to lasting contentment, far more reliable than chasing external markers of success like wealth, fame, or power. Key takeaway: virtue is the only thing you can always control, and focusing on it leads to a more peaceful, fulfilling life. Chapter 5: Accepting Fate with Amor Fati. One of the most powerful Stoic concepts that Delaney discusses is amor fati, or love of fate. This principle encourages us to not only accept but to love everything that happens to us, even the unpleasant things. This doesn't mean we have to pretend to enjoy hardship, but rather that we accept it as part of life's journey and use it as an opportunity for growth. Delaney connects amor fati to modern issues like career setbacks, relationship difficulties, and even existential crises. By embracing the idea that everything happens for a reason, or at least accepting that there are lessons in adversity, we can let go of the need to constantly wish things were different. Key takeaway: embrace everything that happens, even the difficult parts of life. Doing so can bring peace and purpose, even in tough times. Chapter 6: Practicing Daily Reflection. Stoic philosophers, especially Marcus Aurelius, were known for their habit of self-reflection. Delaney dedicates a chapter to the importance of reflecting on one's day to assess thoughts, actions, and emotional responses. This practice, which she likens to journaling, helps us identify areas where we may have strayed from Stoic ideals and offers an opportunity for improvement. Daily reflection can also help us recognize patterns in our thoughts and worries. By examining how we react to situations, we can begin to identify triggers and develop better responses. Delaney suggests that over time, this practice can significantly reduce the amount of time we spend worrying. Key takeaway: daily self-reflection is essential for personal growth and reducing worry. It helps you track your emotional and mental responses and guides your journey toward Stoic wisdom. Chapter 7: Gratitude as an Antidote to Worry. Delaney emphasizes the Stoic practice of gratitude as a way to combat worry. The Stoics believed that by focusing on what we have, rather than what we lack, we can cultivate a sense of contentment and reduce anxiety. Delaney echoes this sentiment, urging readers to regularly count their blessings, even in challenging times. Gratitude, she argues, is one of the most effective ways to shift your mindset away from fear and scarcity. By appreciating the small things, good health, supportive friends, a beautiful sunset, you can reduce the tendency to obsess over potential future losses or failures. Key takeaway: practicing gratitude consistently can help shift your focus from worry to contentment. Chapter 8. Death and the Stoic Perspective on Mortality. One of the Stoics' most challenging teachings is their direct approach to death. Rather than fearing it, Stoics viewed death as a natural part of life. In this chapter, Delaney explores how coming to terms with mortality can help alleviate existential anxiety and everyday worries. The Stoics believed that thinking about death regularly, far from being morbid, can remind us of the importance of living in the present. Delaney reassures readers that confronting the reality of death can lead to a deeper appreciation of life. By accepting death as inevitable, we are freed from the fear of the unknown and can focus on making the most of the time we have. Key takeaway: by accepting and even contemplating death, we can reduce our fear of it and live more fully in the present. Conclusion: Stoicism is a way of life. In the final chapter, Delaney encourages readers to see Stoicism not as a set of abstract principles but as a practical philosophy for everyday life. She emphasizes that the tools provided by the Stoics, negative visualization, controlling our perspective, cultivating virtue, embracing fate, and reflecting daily, are meant to be practiced regularly. These practices help us build emotional resilience, reduce anxiety, and face life's challenges with courage and calm. Delaney concludes that while we cannot eliminate worry entirely, Stoicism offers a way to reduce its grip on our lives. By focusing on what we can control, accepting what we cannot, and practicing gratitude and reflection, we can find peace even in chaotic times. Key takeaway: Stoicism is a philosophy of action, not just contemplation. When practiced daily, it provides a framework for reducing worry and living a more peaceful, purposeful life. Final thoughts. In Reasons Not to Worry, Brigid Delaney successfully modernizes the teachings of Stoicism, making them accessible and practical for today's readers. Through a mix of philosophical insights and real-world applications, she provides a compelling argument for why Stoicism remains a powerful antidote to worry in the modern world. 12 Rules for Life. An Antidote to Chaos by Jordan B. Peterson is a self-help book that blends psychology, philosophy, and religious teachings to provide guidelines for living a meaningful and responsible life. Peterson's book emphasizes individual responsibility, the power of meaning, and the importance of navigating chaos and order. Rule 1. Stand up straight with your shoulders back. This rule draws heavily from Peterson's background in psychology and evolutionary biology. He uses the example of lobsters to demonstrate how posture influences hierarchy in both animals and humans. Lobsters with good posture, shoulders back and standing tall, are more likely to dominate and rise in social hierarchies. Similarly, human beings who present themselves confidently tend to be more successful in life. Peterson argues that adopting a strong, upright posture is crucial for mental well-being. It signals confidence to the world and also to oneself, affecting brain chemistry and mood. Standing up straight with your shoulders back is symbolic of taking responsibility for your life and setting yourself up for success by believing in your own value. Rule 2. Treat yourself like someone you are responsible for helping. Peterson observes that many people are more compassionate and caring toward others than themselves. They often neglect their health, emotions, and well-being, while going out of their way to help others. He urges readers to see themselves as valuable beings who deserve care and attention. This rule revolves around self-respect and self-care. If you were responsible for another person's well-being, you would take their needs seriously. Therefore, you should approach your own life with the same level of care, recognizing your worth and ensuring your physical and mental health are properly managed. Rule 3. Make friends with people who want the best for you. Peterson emphasizes the importance of surrounding yourself with people who genuinely care about your growth and well-being. Friendships that encourage bad habits or self-destructive behavior are detrimental to your progress in life. He explains that individuals should seek out friends who challenge them to be better and hold them accountable. Good friends don't just tell you what you want to hear, they push you toward improvement and growth. These friendships form a support system that can help you through life's challenges, while also providing honest feedback. Rule 4. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. This rule focuses on the dangers of constant comparison with others, particularly in the age of social media. Comparing yourself to others often leads to feelings of inadequacy, envy, and dissatisfaction, as it's easy to see others' highlights and believe that your own life falls short. Peterson advocates for a more productive form of comparison, comparing yourself to your past self. Strive for personal growth rather than competing with others. By focusing on incremental self-improvement, you create a healthier, more sustainable path to progress. This also fosters a sense of accomplishment, as you can measure how far you've come rather than how far behind you feel in relation to others. Rule 5. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them. As a clinical psychologist, Peterson emphasizes the importance of raising disciplined, well-behaved children. He argues that if children are not properly disciplined, they become spoiled, entitled, and likely to be disliked by others as they grow up. Parents should set boundaries for their children, teach them responsibility, and correct bad behavior early. Children who grow up without discipline face more difficulties in life, as they are not prepared to cope with rejection, responsibility, and social norms. By teaching children respect, empathy, and accountability, parents can help them become functioning members of society. Rule 6. Set your house in perfect order before you criticize the world. This rule advocates for taking personal responsibility before blaming external factors for life's problems. Peterson suggests that many people focus on criticizing society, politics, or others without first looking inward at their own behavior and shortcomings. He advises individuals to take care of their immediate surroundings, both literally and metaphorically. This means cleaning your room, organizing your life, and addressing your own problems before attempting to fix the world. By putting your house in order, you gain the clarity and moral authority to engage with the larger issues around you. Rule 7. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. Peterson draws on themes of responsibility and sacrifice, using stories from religion and philosophy. He explains that life is full of suffering, but finding meaning allows individuals to endure hardship and lead fulfilling lives. Pursuing what is expedient, instant gratification and short-term rewards, may offer temporary pleasure but ultimately leads to emptiness. Instead, Peterson encourages individuals to pursue long-term goals that provide a deeper sense of meaning and purpose. This might require sacrificing comfort or pleasure in the present, but it results in a more rewarding and fulfilling life. Meaning is what sustains people during challenging times, and it helps them to grow and contribute positively to the world. Rule 8. Tell the truth, or, at least, don't lie. Honesty is a central theme in this rule. Peterson argues that telling the truth is essential for maintaining personal integrity and fostering trust in relationships. Lies create confusion, deception, and chaos, ultimately leading to unnecessary complications in life. Telling the truth may be difficult, as it can force you to confront uncomfortable realities or admit mistakes. However, honesty builds character and allows for genuine connections with others. Even in situations where the truth is painful, it provides a solid foundation for growth and improvement. Rule 9. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you don't. Effective communication is the foundation of understanding and cooperation. Peterson highlights the importance of listening carefully and with humility, recognizing that others may possess valuable insights or knowledge that can expand your own understanding. Instead of immediately offering opinions or counter-arguments during conversations, approach discussions with an open mind. Active listening allows for deeper connections, mutual respect, and the possibility of learning new perspectives that you may not have considered. True dialogue requires listening without prejudice or assumptions. Rule 10. Be precise in your speech. Ambiguity and vagueness in language can lead to confusion, misunderstandings, and unresolved issues. Peterson advises individuals to articulate their thoughts clearly and precisely. By being specific in speech, you avoid unnecessary complexity and ensure that you and others know exactly what is being communicated. Being clear and precise also allows you to confront and solve problems more effectively. It forces you to confront uncomfortable truths rather than hide behind vague language. Precision in speech is a way of engaging with reality directly and productively. Rule 11. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding. This rule addresses the importance of allowing individuals, especially children, to engage in risk-taking behavior. Peterson explains that overprotecting children stifles their ability to learn, grow, and develop resilience. When children engage in activities like skateboarding, they learn to manage risk and face challenges head-on. Risk-taking is essential for growth, as it builds confidence and the capacity to confront difficult situations. By sheltering children from all potential harm, you prevent them from developing the necessary skills to navigate life's uncertainties. Allowing them to face small risks teaches them how to handle bigger challenges later in life. Rule 12. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. In this final rule, Peterson reflects on the need to find small moments of peace and joy amid life's chaos. Life is filled with suffering and challenges, but small gestures, such as petting a cat or appreciating a simple moment of beauty, offer respite. Peterson shares personal anecdotes about his struggles with his daughter's illness, illustrating how finding brief moments of relief can make life's difficulties more bearable. This rule is about embracing life's fleeting joys to cope with the inevitable pain and chaos that comes with it. Conclusion. 12 Rules for Life encourages personal responsibility, discipline, and the pursuit of meaning as antidotes to chaos in life. Peterson advocates for honesty, self-reflection, and a strong moral foundation, offering practical and philosophical advice for navigating the complexities of human existence. His rules emphasize the importance of taking control of one's life, fostering growth, and finding meaning in both the small and significant aspects of life. Boundaries. When to Say Yes, How to Say No to Take Control of Your Life by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend is a widely regarded self-help book that focuses on the concept of personal boundaries. The book helps readers understand how to establish and maintain healthy boundaries in their personal and professional lives. Introduction to Boundaries. Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend begin the book by explaining the importance of boundaries in life. Boundaries. They explain, are invisible lines that separate an individual from others. These lines help define what is acceptable and what is not, what you are responsible for and what you are not responsible for. Healthy boundaries allow people to take control of their lives and make room for personal growth, while unhealthy boundaries can lead to feelings of resentment, stress, and a lack of fulfillment. The authors explain that boundaries are particularly important for people who often feel overwhelmed or taken advantage of by others. These individuals frequently have trouble saying no to others, and as a result, they end up taking on more than they can handle. The book sets out to help readers develop boundaries that protect their emotional, mental, and physical well-being. Chapter 1. What are boundaries? The first chapter introduces the concept of boundaries. Boundaries define where one person ends and another begins. They are necessary to protect your sense of ownership over your feelings, behaviors, and choices. Just as a physical property has fences or markers to show ownership, personal boundaries help mark off emotional, psychological, and relational property. Cloud and Townsend emphasize that boundaries are not walls. While walls shut people out, boundaries protect what is inside and allow healthy interaction. Proper boundaries allow you to love freely and maintain control of your life, creating a healthy balance between autonomy and connection with others. Chapter 2. Boundaries and Responsibility. In this chapter, the authors explore the concept of personal responsibility. Each individual is responsible for their own actions, feelings, attitudes, and choices. Boundaries help us understand what is ours to manage and what is someone else's. It is crucial to recognize that while we can care for others and empathize with their struggles, we are not responsible for fixing their problems. The authors clarify that being responsible to others, being kind, compassionate, and loving, is different from being responsible for others, taking on their problems, emotions, or behaviors. This distinction helps individuals maintain their boundaries while still showing love and support to others. Chapter 3. Boundary Problems. The third chapter examines common boundary problems, focusing on the different ways people struggle with setting and maintaining boundaries. The authors categorize these into 4 types of people. 1. The compliance. These individuals have weak boundaries and struggle to say no. They often fear rejection, guilt, or disapproval from others. As a result, they end up taking on too much, leading to burnout and resentment. 2. The avoidance. Avoidants tend to set rigid boundaries and have trouble saying yes to help, even when they need it. They isolate themselves emotionally and physically, often out of fear of being vulnerable or dependent on others. 3. The controllers. Controllers have difficulty respecting other people's boundaries. They manipulate or coerce others to get their way, disregarding others' limits or needs. Controllers can be either aggressive, directly violating others' boundaries, or passive, indirectly manipulating through guilt or pressure. 4. The non-responsives. Non-responsives fail to recognize the needs of others. They lack empathy and either ignore the boundaries of those around them or expect others to take care of them without reciprocating. Each type of boundary problem comes with specific challenges, and the authors provide insights into how individuals can begin to address these issues. Chapter 4. The 10 Laws of Boundaries. This chapter introduces 10 foundational principles, referred to as the laws of boundaries, that govern how people can successfully establish and maintain boundaries in their lives. Some of these key laws include: 1. The law of sowing and reaping. People must face the natural consequences of their actions. When we protect others from the consequences of their choices, we prevent them from learning and growing. 2. The law of responsibility. While we are responsible for ourselves, we are responsible to others in a loving and supportive manner. This law helps clarify the distinction between caring and rescuing. 3. The law of power. We do not have the power to control others, but we do have the power to control our own actions and responses. Change starts with taking ownership of what we can control, ourselves. 4. The law of respect. If we want others to respect our boundaries, we must also respect theirs. This mutual respect fosters healthier relationships. 5. The law of motivation. People need to set boundaries out of a healthy sense of self-worth, rather than out of guilt, fear, or obligation. True boundaries are set from a place of empowerment. 6. The law of envy. Envy focuses on what others have and leads to boundary confusion. People must focus on what they truly want and work towards it rather than envying others' success. Chapter 5. Myths about boundaries. In this chapter, the authors address several misconceptions that people have about boundaries, which can make it difficult to set them. Some of the common myths include: boundaries are selfish. Setting boundaries is often viewed as self-centered or uncaring. The authors explain that boundaries are not about selfishness but about self-care. Without them, people are unable to function well and, ultimately, cannot love others effectively. Boundaries hurt others. Many people fear that setting boundaries will cause others to feel hurt or angry. While boundaries may initially cause discomfort, they are necessary for healthy relationships. It is better to be clear about one's limits than to build resentment over time. Boundaries mean cutting people off. Some believe that establishing boundaries requires them to sever relationships. However, boundaries are about maintaining relationships in a healthy, balanced way. Chapter 6. Boundary development. The authors explain that boundaries are formed during childhood and early adolescence. Parental relationships are crucial in teaching children how to develop a sense of self and appropriate boundaries. However, when children experience neglect, overprotection, or enmeshment, blurred boundaries between family members, they may struggle to set boundaries as adults. Cloud and Townsend encourage readers to reflect on their upbringing to understand how their current boundaries were shaped. By doing so, individuals can begin to address and heal any unhealthy patterns. Chapter 7. Boundaries in your family. In this chapter, the authors emphasize that family relationships are often where boundary problems begin, and they can be the most difficult to address. Patterns of enabling, overstepping, or controlling often emerge within families, making it challenging to establish and enforce boundaries with parents, siblings, or other relatives. Cloud and Townsend offer practical advice for handling boundary issues in family dynamics. They stress the importance of clear communication and assertiveness when dealing with family members who may resist the establishment of new boundaries. Chapter 8. Boundaries in work. The authors discuss the importance of setting boundaries in professional settings. They note that many people struggle with work-life balance, often sacrificing personal time and health for career advancement or to meet others' expectations. Without boundaries at work, individuals may experience burnout, frustration, or a sense of being overwhelmed. Key strategies for setting boundaries in the workplace include learning to say no to unreasonable demands, managing time effectively, and communicating clearly with colleagues and supervisors about limits. Chapter 9. Boundaries in friendship. Boundaries are essential in friendships, where the lines between giving and receiving can sometimes blur. Cloud and Townsend explain that friendship should be reciprocal and that healthy boundaries allow for mutual respect and support. Friends should not take advantage of each other's time, energy, or resources. The authors also explore how to deal with friends who violate boundaries, providing guidance on how to have difficult conversations and maintain the integrity of the relationship without enabling unhealthy behavior. Chapter 10. Boundaries and marriage. In marriage, boundaries are critical for maintaining intimacy and individuality. While the bond between spouses is deep, each partner must retain their sense of self to avoid dependency or codependency. Cloud and Townsend argue that healthy marriages require both love and freedom, where each partner respects the other's boundaries. Chapter 11. Boundaries and Children. Parents are responsible for teaching children about boundaries. This chapter provides guidance on how to set boundaries with children in a way that is loving, firm, and consistent. Boundaries help children understand consequences and develop a sense of responsibility. Conclusion. The final chapters of the book emphasize the importance of practicing and maintaining boundaries as part of a lifelong journey. Boundaries allow individuals to take control of their lives, create healthier relationships, and experience emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being. The process of setting boundaries may be uncomfortable at first, but it is ultimately liberating and empowering. In summary, Boundaries by Dr. Henry Cloud and Dr. John Townsend is a practical guide to developing healthy boundaries in various aspects of life, from relationships to work, family, and personal well-being. By learning to say no when necessary and protecting your emotional space, you gain control over your life and contribute to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Haemin Sunim's The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down is a gentle, philosophical book that explores the importance of mindfulness and inner peace in a fast-paced world. As a Korean Buddhist monk, Sunim offers practical wisdom to help readers find calm amidst the chaos of modern life. The book is divided into 8 chapters, each dealing with different aspects of life, such as relationships, love, work, and spirituality. The essence of the book lies in the belief that by slowing down and being present, one can lead a more fulfilling, happy life. Chapter 1. Rest. The first chapter emphasizes the importance of rest. Sunim begins by observing how people in today's world are constantly rushing from one task to another, trying to meet external expectations while often neglecting their inner well-being. He advocates for taking time to slow down, pointing out that a rested mind can perceive the world more clearly. Sunim highlights the misconception that resting equates to laziness. Instead, he argues that rest is essential for mental and emotional well-being. By taking deliberate breaks, people can recharge their energy and handle challenges with greater clarity. He offers the simple advice to pause and breathe, reflecting on the beauty of the present moment. Resting, according to Sunim, is also about accepting one's limitations. He suggests that it's crucial to acknowledge when you are overwhelmed or tired and allow yourself to slow down, rather than forcing yourself to keep going. Chapter 2. Mindfulness. Mindfulness, as Sunim describes it, is the practice of being fully present in each moment. He explains that many people are constantly living in the past or worrying about the future, which causes unnecessary stress and anxiety. By focusing on the present, one can cultivate a sense of peace and contentment. Sunim offers mindfulness techniques to help readers stay grounded in the present moment, such as focusing on one's breath or observing the natural world. He encourages practicing mindfulness in everyday activities, whether it's eating, walking, or even working. This heightened awareness can bring more joy and meaning to routine tasks. The chapter also touches on the concept of impermanence. Sunim reminds readers that nothing in life is permanent, and thus it is important to appreciate and fully experience each moment as it comes. By accepting the transient nature of life, one can cultivate a sense of peace amidst the inevitable changes. Chapter 3. Passion. In the third chapter, Sunim explores the theme of passion and its role in finding meaning in life. Passion, he explains, is a double-edged sword. While it can inspire and motivate, it can also lead to burnout if not managed mindfully. Sunim encourages readers to pursue their passions but reminds them to be mindful of the balance between effort and relaxation. He suggests that passion without rest can lead to exhaustion, while rest without passion can lead to apathy. The key is to find harmony between the two. The chapter also discusses the importance of finding joy in the process rather than being overly focused on the end result. Sunim explains that many people chase goals and milestones, thinking they will be happy once they achieve them, only to find that the satisfaction is fleeting. He advises readers to enjoy the journey, as true fulfillment lies in the present moment. Chapter 4. Relationships. Relationships are a central theme in Sunim's work, and in this chapter, he emphasizes the importance of compassion and understanding in fostering healthy connections with others. He explores the idea that many relationship problems stem from a lack of communication and empathy. Sunim suggests that instead of trying to change others, one should focus on changing their own perceptions and reactions. By practicing mindfulness and empathy, people can develop a deeper understanding of those around them, leading to stronger and more meaningful relationships. One of the key points Sunim makes is that when conflicts arise, it's important to listen without judgment and respond with kindness. He believes that everyone is doing their best, even when it may not seem that way, and by approaching others with patience and understanding, one can create a more peaceful and loving environment. Chapter 5. Love. In the chapter on love, Sunim discusses both romantic and self-love. He explains that while romantic love can bring great joy, it is often accompanied by attachment and expectations that can lead to suffering. Sunim emphasizes the importance of unconditional love, which is free from attachment and focused on the well-being of the other person. He also speaks about the importance of self-love. According to Sunim, many people are overly critical of themselves and base their self-worth on external validation. He advises readers to practice self-compassion, to accept themselves as they are, and to treat themselves with the same kindness they would offer a friend. Sunim introduces the idea of non-attachment in love, which means loving someone without trying to possess or control them. This, he believes, leads to healthier and more fulfilling relationships. Chapter 6. Life. In this chapter, Sunim reflects on life's broader philosophical questions, encouraging readers to consider the purpose and meaning of their existence. He points out that people often get caught up in the trivialities of daily life, losing sight of the bigger picture. Sunim reminds readers that life is fleeting, and it is important to reflect on what truly matters. He urges people to align their actions with their values and to pursue a life that is meaningful to them, rather than one dictated by societal expectations. A significant part of this chapter deals with the concept of acceptance. Sunim explains that life is full of ups and downs, and by accepting both the good and bad with equanimity, one can find inner peace. He encourages readers to let go of the need for control and to trust the flow of life. Chapter 7. The Future. Sunim's advice about the future centers around the idea of letting go of worry. He explains that worrying about the future is futile, as it distracts from the present and creates unnecessary stress. Instead, he advocates for focusing on what can be done in the present to create a better future. He discusses the importance of setting goals but reminds readers not to become overly attached to specific outcomes. By holding onto goals too tightly, one may miss out on unexpected opportunities and experiences that could be even more rewarding. The chapter also touches on the idea of hope. Sunim encourages readers to remain optimistic and trust that things will work out as they are meant to, while also acknowledging that some level of uncertainty is inevitable. Chapter 8. Spirituality. The final chapter delves into the topic of spirituality and the pursuit of inner peace. Sunim emphasizes that spirituality is not about adhering to a specific religion or belief system, but rather about cultivating a deep sense of connection with oneself and the world. He encourages readers to explore their spiritual side by practicing mindfulness, meditation, and self-reflection. These practices, he believes, can help individuals develop a deeper understanding of themselves and the world around them, leading to a more peaceful and fulfilling life. Sunim also discusses the importance of kindness and compassion in spirituality. He believes that by cultivating these qualities, individuals can not only find inner peace but also contribute to a more harmonious world. Conclusion. The Things You Can See Only When You Slow Down offers a simple yet profound message. By slowing down and being present, one can find joy, peace, and meaning in life. Haemin Sunim's gentle wisdom encourages readers to embrace mindfulness, compassion, and self-awareness in all aspects of life, from work and relationships to love and spirituality. The book reminds readers that life is fleeting, and it is only by slowing down and paying attention to the present moment that one can truly appreciate the beauty and wonder that surrounds them. Sunim's teachings offer a path to inner peace, not through grand gestures or radical changes, but through simple, mindful living. Love for Imperfect Things. How to Accept Yourself in a World Striving for Perfection by Haemin Sunim is a reflective and insightful guide on cultivating self-acceptance and finding peace amidst life's inherent imperfections. The book, written by a renowned Korean Zen monk, explores themes of mindfulness, compassion, and inner peace, offering readers practical wisdom and guidance on navigating the complexities of modern life. Understanding Imperfection. The central premise of the book is that imperfection is an integral part of life and that striving for an unattainable ideal of perfection often leads to frustration and unhappiness. Sunim argues that accepting and embracing our imperfections allows us to live more authentically and peacefully. He emphasizes that perfection is an illusion, and it is in our flaws and vulnerabilities that we find our true selves. Self-acceptance. Sunim begins by addressing the concept of self-acceptance, which is foundational to his teachings. He suggests that many people struggle with self-acceptance due to societal pressures and personal insecurities. By practicing self-compassion and understanding that we are all imperfect, we can begin to accept ourselves more fully. Sunim encourages readers to treat themselves with the same kindness and understanding they would offer a close friend. Mindfulness and presence. Mindfulness is a key theme in the book. Sunim advocates for living in the present moment as a way to overcome the anxiety and stress that arise from worrying about the past or future. He explains that mindfulness allows us to fully experience life as it is, without judgment or resistance. Through mindfulness practices such as meditation and mindful breathing, readers can cultivate a greater sense of peace and contentment. Embracing vulnerability. Another important aspect of Sunim's teachings is the acceptance of vulnerability. He argues that acknowledging our vulnerabilities is not a sign of weakness but a pathway to deeper connections with others. By being open about our struggles and imperfections, we invite empathy and understanding from those around us. Sunim suggests that embracing our vulnerability allows us to build more authentic and meaningful relationships. The role of compassion. Compassion plays a significant role in Sunim's philosophy. He emphasizes the importance of extending compassion not only to others but also to ourselves. Sunim argues that compassion is essential for healing and personal growth. By practicing compassion, we can overcome feelings of guilt, shame, and self-criticism. Sunim provides practical advice on how to cultivate compassion, such as through acts of kindness and active listening. Dealing with challenges. Sunim acknowledges that life is filled with challenges and difficulties. Instead of avoiding or denying these challenges, he encourages readers to face them with an open heart and a sense of acceptance. He suggests that by approaching difficulties with a mindset of curiosity and learning, we can transform them into opportunities for growth. Sunim also emphasizes the importance of resilience and the ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Finding joy in everyday life. The book also explores the concept of finding joy in everyday life. Sunim argues that happiness is not found in grand achievements or material possessions but in the simple, everyday moments. He encourages readers to cultivate gratitude and appreciation for the small joys in life, such as spending time with loved ones or enjoying nature. By focusing on these simple pleasures, we can find a deeper sense of fulfillment and contentment. Letting go of perfectionism. Sunim addresses the issue of perfectionism and its impact on our well-being. He explains that the pursuit of perfection often leads to feelings of inadequacy and self-doubt. Instead of striving for an unattainable ideal, Sunim encourages readers to embrace their imperfections and focus on progress rather than perfection. He suggests that letting go of perfectionism allows us to live more freely and authentically. Cultivating inner peace. Cultivating inner peace is a central theme in Sunim's teachings. He provides practical advice on how to achieve inner peace through practices such as meditation, self-reflection, and mindful living. Sunim emphasizes that inner peace is not something that can be obtained externally but is a state of being that comes from within. By creating a harmonious inner environment, we can navigate life's challenges with greater ease and tranquility. Building meaningful relationships. Sunim also explores the importance of building meaningful relationships. He emphasizes that authentic connections with others are essential for our well-being and happiness. By practicing empathy, active listening, and compassion, we can foster deeper and more fulfilling relationships. Sunim encourages readers to invest in their relationships and prioritize the quality of their connections over superficial interactions. Letting go of control. Another key lesson in the book is the importance of letting go of control. Sunim explains that the desire to control every aspect of our lives often leads to stress and dissatisfaction. Instead of trying to control outcomes, he advocates for accepting uncertainty and embracing the flow of life. By letting go of our need for control, we can experience greater freedom and openness to the possibilities of life. Finding balance. Finding balance is a recurring theme in Sunim's teachings. He emphasizes the need to balance different aspects of our lives, such as work and personal time, ambition and contentment, and activity and rest. Sunim provides practical advice on how to create a balanced life by setting boundaries, prioritizing self-care, and making time for relaxation and reflection. Living with purpose. Sunim also explores the concept of living with purpose. He encourages readers to reflect on their values, passions, and goals to create a sense of purpose in their lives. Sunim suggests that living with purpose involves aligning our actions with our values and pursuing activities that bring us joy and fulfillment. By living purposefully, we can create a more meaningful and satisfying life. Conclusion. In Love for Imperfect Things, Haemin Sunim offers a profound and practical guide to embracing imperfection and finding peace in a world that often values perfection. Through his teachings on self-acceptance, mindfulness, compassion, and balance, Sunim provides readers with valuable insights and tools for navigating life's challenges and cultivating a deeper sense of fulfillment. The book serves as a reminder that it is through our imperfections and vulnerabilities that we find our true selves and experience the richness of life. Sunim's wisdom and gentle guidance offer a refreshing perspective on the pursuit of happiness and inner peace, encouraging readers to embrace their imperfections and live more authentically. By adopting Sunim's teachings, readers can learn to accept themselves and others more fully, find joy in everyday moments, and navigate life's complexities with greater ease and grace.